Well, alrighty, man, Disney is absolutely funny. Disney's a really, really funny company, I tell you, because y'all know, and I know, that The Acolyte episode 3 is absolutely horrendous. It's a god-awful show to start with, but episode 3 takes the cake, and I think episode 4 is going to be coming out today. Lord knows what they are going to be putting out there, because people are already saying that it is going to be worse. But this Acolyte is very, very, very powerful, very powerful show. As this episode 3 has united the audience united. I mean, it's very difficult to do, but they have united and they have given this a whopping 17% score on Rotten Tomatoes as it were right now. I mean, for Star Wars show, this is the worst rated Star Wars show ever. I mean, it is absolutely horrendous. Now, regardless of the fact that this show is an absolute abysmal abomination of a show, Disney decided, regardless of the fact that the premises of this particular show of lay dollar bean people in space having kids without a father, actually put out a song, a soundtrack for this show, a soundtrack for this episode 3, The Power of One, the power of two, the power of many. They put a soundtrack of that song out there, called it The Power of Two, and they asked the people that they're trying to market this thing to, the modern audiences, if y'all know what I mean. They're telling them to buy this and go give it to their father on Father's Day. Disney, beautiful. They actually did that. And so I decided to wait till after Father's Day to see how this song actually did on Billboard. And lo and behold, people, on Billboard Top 100, I checked, it wasn't number 1. It wasn't number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Long story short, it's not on Billboard 100 as it has bombed. And this has really reinvigorated me that the world has not gone. It has really encouraged me to now believe that the world hasn't gone totally cuckoo, that there is still some sanity in this world. Let's be honest about that. Now, regardless of the fact that everybody knows this show is bad, knows that what Disney is putting out is absolutely horrendous, you still have the Access Media coming to say that shows like The Acolyte are not the ones ruining Star Wars. No, you are. You, the toxic fans, are. And of course, they say The Acolyte isn't ruining Star Wars. You are. And basically what they were saying in this is you just don't like The Acolyte simply because of diversity. Of course, this argument always falls short when you see movies like Bad Boys still killing it at the box office, although it's dropped down to number 2 because, Inside Out just came and blew it out the park, making $134 million this week. But it's still done $34 million this week, which is more than half of what it did in its first weekend, which was $56 million. And worldwide, it has done over $113 million. So it's got the legs. It's just that another movie came out that was just, it's a kid's movie, so it will always blow Bad Boys out the park. Now, why am I mentioning Bad Boys? Is because it is one of the most diverse movies that you will ever see. Literally ever see. You had black people in there, you had Arabs in there, you had white people in there, you even had the hillbillies in there, but they wouldn't praise that movie because the movie isn't towing a narrative. It isn't pushing a narrative. There wasn't a single racist in that particular movie except for the albino alligator, right? But that doesn't follow the lines on that, or the narratives that Hollywood wants to push today. So Hollywood is not going to be praising Bad Boys for its diversity. Neither will Hollywood be praising the fans for rushing to the theaters to see a show that is being heralded by 2 black manly men. At least that is the character that they are playing. Before somebody attacks me that they're not manly in real life. Now, I don't care what they are in real life. What I care is what they're promoting on the movie, right? 2 black manly men for a change, not wearing skirts, not wearing dresses, not doing any of those crappy things that they want to promote towards black people. No, they are not. They were just there doing the body cop thing that we've always loved from movies like Lethal Weapon, Another 48 Hours, Rush Hour, and you have Bad Boys, and all of these other other movies, right? They were just doing the same thing, giving the fans exactly what they want. If I go to Chick-fil-A, I don't want you serving me anything else but Chick-fil-A. That is the way that it works. If I want to eat a burger, I want to eat a burger. I don't want to eat no synthetic rubbish, what do you call it, vegetarian meat. What the heck is that, right? So people know what they want. People know what they like. Give the customers what they want, what they like. The customers cannot be responsible for you ruining your own menu, right? And this whole thing really boils down to the sort of people that Disney is hiring. Of course, Leslie Headland is heralding this show, is spearheading this show, is running this show, and she's running this show out of disdain for George Lucas, as people are now surfacing something that she said about George Lucas last year, coming out to say, this is like, she's one of those people who cannot make a statement without saying like. So she said, this is like what we understand to be Star Wars. The idea that that only came from George Lucas, it's hard to read what she said, that only George Lucas holds the key for what we understand to be Star Wars is untrue. And I think the prequels are excellent examples of that. And what about the Acolyte? So you're not trying to tell me that the Acolytes are better than the prequels? Now, I saw the prequels and I loved the prequels. I didn't actually like the episode 2 of the prequels that much because there was too much talking and too much politics and all that. But I think that the episode 1 and the episode 3 were absolutely excellent. They were not as good as the trilogy, but then again, how many movies make prequels that are good as the originals? I mean, think about it. The Hobbit, they made prequels and it wasn't as good as the original, but it doesn't mean that The Hobbit wasn't good. It was a good movie. I liked the episode 2 and 3. The episode 1 was very slow. The first episode of the Hobbit, or the first part of the Hobbit, was slow. But I liked them. But people still have criticisms for them. Some people have genuine criticisms and some people genuinely love them. It is just the way that it is. However, when it comes to your Acolyte, there is a general consensus, as we can see from the audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, that your show is terrible. It is horrible. It's not just because it's a Star Wars show. It is a horrible show in general. If I was a normie and I knew nothing about Star Wars and I saw your show filled with contradictions, filled with just rubbish statements, I mean, dialogue was just horrible. I mean, it's your fault. It's your fault. What did you do? What did you do? I mean, all this kind of stuff with the Jedi's lying, with the Jedi's becoming some kind of space tyrannical people who take people's children and stop them from training their own children to become more like them, but want to force them to become more like Jedi's, right? It's just like absolutely outrageous. You're changing the premises of what the Jedi's stand for and what they are. You're trying to make them look like the bad guys, like the evil ones, like they were not perfect. Nobody ever said that they were perfect. They made mistakes, but they were not actually going out there to rule tyrannically and take children away from people when people tell them, hey, we have other plans for our kids. We don't want them to go to your school. And then you come out and say, yeah, we'll take them regardless. You cannot deny us taking them. I mean, all those kind of rubbish. I don't want to really go into it much. But in any case, you guys, this is where we are at. And just like J.R.R. Tolkien said, evil cannot create anything new. They can only corrupt and ruin what good forces have invented or made. And this is exactly what the Acolyte has done. In any case, you guys, let me know what you think about this. Would you have allowed your kid, or if you're a kid, would you have bought this song for your dad and say, hey, happy Father's Day. Here is a song about two Ladola beans having children without a father involved in the procreation of the child, but here is it as a Father's Day gift. Disney's ridiculous.